If you've been feeling behind lately, if you're feeling like this year hasn't gone the way you planned, if you're feeling disappointed, unmotivated, stuck, or frustrated with yourself, this video is for you. Because I think a lot of people quietly reach this point around June where they realize, wait, half the year is almost gone. And suddenly, the pressure starts. Thoughts like, I wasted so much time, I should be further ahead, I failed my goals, everyone seems ahead of me. What is the point in trying now? But I need you to understand something. Starting over in June is not failing. You are not too late. You are not behind in life. And you do not need January 1st to change your life. A random Tuesday in June can change everything too. So today, we're going to talk about letting go of the pressure of the perfect year, how to reset mentally and emotionally, why it's okay to start again, how to stop identifying with your past mistakes, and how to create momentum for the second half of the year. And at the end, I'll give you practical action steps to help you reset your life gently and realistically. So get comfortable, grab a drink, and let's get into it. I think social media has created this idea that our lives should dramatically transform by the middle of the year. We start the year full of motivation, vision boards, goal lists, new habits, new routines, big expectations. And when life doesn't unfold perfectly, we panic. By June, people often feel guilty, embarrassed, discouraged, or ashamed that they didn't stick to everything. But life isn't linear. Real life includes setbacks, exhaustion, grief, anxiety, burnout, unexpected changes, difficult seasons, emotional struggles, and periods where survival takes priority over self-improvement. You are not a failure because life became difficult. And honestly, sometimes people spend so much time feeling guilty about wasted time that they waste even more time staying stuck in shame. You do not need to spend the rest of the year punishing yourself for the first half of it. One of the most healing things you can learn is this. You are allowed to start over as many times as you need to. Not just once, not just in January, not only when you feel confident. You can begin again and again and again. You can begin after burnout, heartbreak, depression, failure, losing motivation, inconsistency, and fear. Starting over is part of growth, not proof that you failed at growth. And sometimes your new beginning is wiser because of what didn't work before. Maybe the old routine was unrealistic. Maybe the goals weren't aligned. Maybe you were trying to become someone you thought you should be instead of who you actually want to become. Awareness is progress too. A lot of people accidentally turn temporary struggles into permanent identities. For example, I'm lazy. I never follow through. I always fail. I'm too behind. I'm unmotivated. I ruin everything. But one difficult season does not define who you are. One bad month does not define your future. One setback does not erase your potential. You are not your worst week. You are not your lowest moment. You are not your past mistakes. Please stop speaking about yourself like your growth is already over. Because the way you identify yourself matters. If you constantly tell yourself, I'm a failure, your brain starts looking for evidence to confirm it. But if you begin saying, I'm rebuilding, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm trying again, your mindset starts shifting towards possibility, and possibility creates momentum. I think people underestimate how powerful small resets are. You do not need a dramatic overnight transformation. You don't need a new personality, a perfect routine, a total life makeover, or instant motivation. Sometimes rebuilding starts with cleaning your room, drinking more water, fixing your sleep schedule, going outside more, journaling again, deleting draining apps, taking walks, applying for opportunities, cooking for yourself, or simply deciding not to give up. Tiny actions matter because tiny actions rebuild self-trust, and self-trust is what creates lasting change, not perfection. Consistency. A lot of the pressure we feel comes from comparison. We look around and think everyone else is ahead. Everyone else has their life together. Everyone else is succeeding faster than me. But you are seeing curated highlights, not the full reality. People rarely post confusion, loneliness, failure, uncertainty, mental exhaustion, or the years it took to rebuild themselves. Life is not a race with one universal timeline. Some people bloom later. Some people restart multiple times. Some people completely reinvent themselves in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. You are not behind because your journey looks different. And honestly, rushing your healing and growth just to keep up with other people usually creates burnout. Your timeline deserves patience too. This might surprise some people, but motivation is not always what changes your life. Because motivation comes and goes. Some days you feel inspired, some days you don't. What actually changes your life is commitment, self-respect, consistency, and willingness to continue even imperfectly. Waiting to feel ready can keep you stuck for years. Sometimes you have to begin while scared, uncertain, emotional, tired, unconfident. We know action creates momentum. It's not the other way around. And no, you do not need to fix your entire life this month. Focus on creating movement instead of perfection. I really want to talk about this because I know so many people quietly grieve lost time. Maybe you feel like anxiety stole years from you, depression slowed you down, fear held you back, heartbreak distracted you, or you spent too long doubting yourself. And while those feelings are valid, your life is not ruined. You are still here. There is still time for healing, love, growth, success, creativity, opportunities, friendship, peace, and reinvention. Please stop speaking about your future like it disappeared just because things didn't happen as quickly as you expected. Some chapters take longer. That doesn't mean the story is over. Why not let June be the month you stop giving up on yourself? Not because everything suddenly becomes perfect, but because you decide, I deserve another chance. Imagine if instead of spending the next 6 months criticizing yourself, you spent them supporting yourself. Imagine where small daily changes could lead by the end of the year. Not extreme changes, gentle, consistent ones. Maybe by December, you feel mentally stronger. Your habits improve. Your confidence grows. You trust yourself more. You create new opportunities. You feel happier and calmer, more connected to yourself. That transformation starts with one decision: to begin again. A lot of people delay their lives because they think, I'll start when I'll become more confident. I'll start when I'm less anxious. I'll start when I feel motivated. I start when I become better. But growth happens through action, not before it. You build confidence by doing things scared. You build discipline by practicing consistency. You build self-trust by showing up imperfectly. There is no magical version of you coming to save your life. The version of you watching this right now is already capable of starting, even if it's messy, even if it's imperfect, even if it's small. If you've been feeling discouraged lately, I want you to remember this. You are not too late. Not for healing, not for success, not for love, not for creativity, not for change, not for becoming the person you want to become. June is not the end of the year. And honestly, some of the best transformations begin quietly, not with huge dramatic moments, but with someone deciding, I'm not giving up on myself anymore. Let that someone be you. All right, here are your reset action steps for June. First, write a fresh start journal entry. Ask yourself, what do I want to leave behind? What do I want more of? What kind of person do I want to become in the next 6 months? Be honest without judging yourself. Then choose 3 tiny habits. Do not overwhelm yourself. Pick 3 realistic habits you can stay consistent with. Daily walks, journaling, drinking water, taking vitamins, reading, posting content, waking up earlier, stretching, meditation, whatever little habit you think you can do. Small consistency creates momentum. Then stop speaking about yourself like you've already failed. Pay attention to your self-talk this week. Replace I'm behind with I'm rebuilding. Replace I failed with I'm learning. Words matter. Then I want you to clean or reset one area of your life. Your room, your phone, your workspace. your sleep schedule. External resets can help create internal clarity. Then give yourself permission to begin imperfectly. You do not need the perfect plan to move forward. Start messy. Start scared. Start small. Just start. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.